Hey, I just wanted to tell you, Bernie.
Yeah.
We talked about service a Chevrolet Cadillac last hour.
Yes.
I have checked with the powers that be, and the dealership is open.
Yes.
Operating.
Knew it. Love
ready
it.
to help you. Hey, take this day that you have off of work or your kids have off of school. Go look at a car.
I think that's a marvelous
It's the summertime.
idea.
You need that third row. That's the Kirkpatrick family motto.
Boy, you really
it's
do.
Summer. In the wintertime, no, you're tired of your family. Y'all can't ride with me. But in the summertime, you go on road trips, so you need that third row.
That's right, because you have your kids, but then you need to bring your kids and their friends so that, they have everybody to hang out with at the beach.
Yes. So,
I know.
Of course, they have the Tahoe there, the Traverse, and if you're feeling extra, they have an Escalade. It's my personal fave with the 4G Wi-Fi inside. Hey, anyway, joining us on the phone, the Lafayette food junkie herself, Tiffany Deku. Good morning.
Good morning.
So we got to see each other last night.
Yeah.
I kind of told Bern, because, Bernie was hosting the Louisiana Seafood Cook-Off, and you and I kept passing each other, and I said, look, every time Tiffany and I came within 2 feet of each other, I gave her some kind of review, like, that meatball's too dry, or I give way too spicy for me, that's not for me, or this is my favorite. So, Tiffany, I before we start to get down to the nitty-gritty, I want to continue a tradition that we started last year, so it's only the second annual. But I'm actually going to give awards for my top 3, gold, silver, and bronze. Things that I liked at the Taste of Lafayette last night. Is that okay with you? I know you're kind of the food girl.
No, go for it.
Okay, so my gold. Let's start with the bronze. Okay, let's start with the bronze.
Yeah.
Because there were 50-plus restaurants there. So being in the top 3 is awesome. The bronze is the meatball stew from Office Hours over on Pinhook.
Oh, man. I didn't find out about that until after I left.
Yes.
I wish I would have had it.
It was super dark, which I love. It was it was cooked down so much that you could not even identify an onion or whatever, which is extra points for me and for my kids who get weird about crunchy things. Anyway, it was great, and the meatball was perfect and it was juicy. Okay, Office Hours, that's my bronze. Definitely the top 3. And this was hard this year. Silver is Alici's Pizza, the pork meatball in Alfredo sauce.
Oh, my God. I passed by them, and I just saw, 6 trays of pasta.
Yes.
And I was like, I love you.
I have never had a meatball in Alfredo sauce before.
They get crazy over there, and I love them. I cannot say enough good things about Alici's Pizza.
And I like that it's kind of like old school Lafayette. They still have the old sign with the man throwing the pizza up.
You can get the Chianti and the big wine bottle with the
really
sticker on it.
Okay. Well, then I'm going there. Okay, and the gold, second year running, for the same dish, Riverside Inn crab cakes with the honey mustard sauce.
They kind of make a great crab cake.
It's simple. It's it's not crunchy. My thing about a crab cake is, can we just put out a public service announcement? Cook your vegetables before you put them in the crab cake. Maybe I'm wrong. How do you feel about crunchy vegetables in a crab cake?
I'm not a fan of the crunchy vegetables. I'm a texture.
It should be creamy inside to me. It shouldn't be fill. It should be creamy. And these, it's almost like they have a separate batter on the outside where when you bite into it, it all just kind of flows out. It's great. It's by far like my Oscars.
Cake,
okay.
You need to go check out St. John Restaurant in St. Martinville, Miss Queen of Louisiana Seafood.
That's
Bonnie
so
Bro.
awesome.
I mean, that's what they're known for.
Crab cakes, really? Okay.
Yes, they are known for their crab cake.
Well, I know she cooked the black drum last night. Do you know if that's something you can get on the menu over there, or maybe it's a new ad?
I don't know. I know a lot of restaurants typically don't cook with drum because it's kind of considered a trash fish.
Okay.
But they're trying to make it in style because it's kind of, we have a lot of it. So I know at home they're trying to encourage people to cook with drum, but I don't really see it on a lot of menus, but that might be something that's about to change.
Okay.
I would think so, yeah.
So what was your favorite? What gets high marks for you last night?
Okay, so I have 2 favorites because I'm torn between 2 of them. The first thing that I had was from Renaissance Market, and it was the hummus and the stuffed bell pepper.
Yes, the stuffed, yes.
I am not a stuffed bell pepper fan, so I didn't eat the bell pepper. However, I like the flavoring of the meat and the rice and everything inside of it.
Mm-hmm.
So I ate that and it was delicious. And I kind of feel like Renaissance Market is kind of a hidden gem. Not a lot of people know about it. The Ladies Who Lunch crowd that go to the oil center, they definitely know about it. But
and where is it located?
People need to check them out.
Where is it?
Okay, it's It's kind of tucked in the back of the oil center. I want to say it's on Harding, and it's inside of an antiques market.
Oh, that makes sense.
So,
okay.
Right. So that's what makes it a little difficult. But inside of this antiques market is this really great little bistro that's doing Mediterranean dishes and sandwiches and soups and salads.
And the hummus,
and you can get like a whole bottle of wine there too.
Oh, wow.
So
all right.
Stuff.
All right.
So number 2 would be the Cajun table, and they did a fried catfish with shrimp etouffee, and the shrimp was also fried. I have been very impressed by these guys. It's a young couple that started as a food truck here in Lafayette. They've recently gone brick and mortar, and they're just putting out real good Cajun comfort food.
Wow. Yeah, it was a really good one. And like you said, the difference was the fried shrimp and the shrimp etouffee. I mean,
right.
It was a whole different taste.
They do, I want to say on Wednesdays, their special is a crawfish etouffee, and they do it with the fried crawfish. It's like, it has the crawfish and the crawfish etouffee, but they put the fried crawfish on top, too.
All right, I don't have plans today, so maybe so.
Yeah, I'm good. Check it out.
I mean, how cool is it? You cover this industry and, restaurants and pop-ups especially, which I know is like a new thing. Ethnic food pop-ups is a big thing you talk about a lot on your show Sunday nights here on KPEL. How important is it for the Louisiana Seafood Cook-Off, though, to acknowledge Acadiana and take the cook-off out of New Orleans for the first time in its history?
That is a big deal. When they made that announcement, I was kind of shocked. Usually the seafood competition coincides with the huge trade expo for the restaurant industry.
Okay.
And I'm usually there for it because there's also this farm to table symposium that happens in New Orleans. And it's a big deal. Like, the chefs look forward to it, the restaurants look forward to it. So when they announced that it was going to take part with the Eat Lafayette kickoff event, I was shocked, but this is great. Like, this is so good for Lafayette. I think this was the best event yet in my history of going to the Eat Lafayette event. So it's only going to get bigger and better.
Awesome. Well, Tiffany Deku, our own very, very capable and talented Lafayette food junkie. You can hear her show every week, Sunday nights at 6, right here on KPEL. Just such great information. And you know what my favorite part about your show is? I'm going to give you some live good criticism, constructive.
Ooh, go for it.
It's not even constructive criticism. It's a compliment.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
I love, there's someone who you have had on a couple times, and she's a server, I think, at La Fonda.
DeQuay Johnson.
Okay,
yes,
DeQuay Johnson.
I love Quay.
I love her because there's just so much insight. Like, a place like La Fonda, no one goes to La Fonda to try it. Like, if you go to La Fonda, you've already been, and you love it, and you love the atmosphere, and you might even go every Friday night. I love that about it. You've never been to La Fonda?
I've never been.
Oh my gosh! All right, well, we need to make plans then, because
I know.
I mean, it's just such a, when you think of Mexican food, I think a lot of people sometimes just have the same, perspective that all Mexican is all Mexican is. It just, we know what it is. But I mean, then they pull out things at La Fonda like a steak skewer, and then it comes and it's like the best cuts of beef. It is on a skewer, just grilled, simple. I mean. Anyway, well, we need to make a date, Tiffany. I'll definitely take you. I'll treat for sure.
Oh,
yes,
cool.
And I can get the fried chicken and the margaritas.
Okay,
yes,
okay.
Yes.
All
I
right.
want to accidentally show up there.
You can come too, Bern. All right, it's 8:22 now.
Bye, Tiff.
Tiff, so great talking to you. And, it's so great when we see her at things like that, because that is her wheelhouse.
It is,
Everyone
man.
knows
She
her.
just loves
She walks
it.
up to these restaurants, and a lot of times it's hard being a food critic because, sometimes people say, oh, well, of course you're going to like them. They gave you a free meal. We've had this conversation with Tiffany. She says, no, I never ask.
Right.
I almost always pay.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes they'll bring something extra to my table for me to taste.
Mm-hmm.
Or like, hey, we have this new dessert we're working on. Will you give us your thoughts?
Yeah, this is the concept. What do you think of it?
And that's such a great thing. But it's hard because, in Acadiana, especially with something like meatball stew, like I talked about how much I love the meatball stew from Office Hours over on Pinhook. That's something that, like, your mama makes.
Right.
So it's hard to compete with. It's
That's
like
right.
gumbos.
Exactly.
Like, I know people who won't order gumbo out
Mm-hmm.
just because they're like, well, you can't compete with my gumbo, so why even try?
Right.
But you go to somewhere like that and just a good meatball stew that you don't have to slave over the stove for. That's why you go to places like Office Hours.
You know, I really did learn a lot last night too.
I can tell.
Yeah, I was pretty impressed. I was like, okay, I feel like I can do some of these things now.
Bernie went from Blue Apron to Bonefish Grill last night in her mind. Hey, coming up, a guest to tell you about something you can get involved in here in Acadiana. Give back right here. We will be joined by our guest Elijah. Coming up, this is Acadiana's Morning News. Stay with us.